Hi, everyone, and welcome to For the Love of the Map. I'm your host, Julia, aka Sweet Tea.
I'm your host, Marla, and together we are your non-stop connection to everything supernatural.
With 2.5 years of experience and over 8,000 combined workout sessions, we test it all so you can get right to the fun. Hello, and welcome to episode 22. So a few episodes back, you casually mentioned the term, the phrase, shiny new toy, and I want to talk about that a little bit more today.
Well, we have lots of shiny new toys, but I think it's perfectly fitting that we talk about it today because about 2 weeks ago, it was a Thursday, I believe it was June the 13th. We were gifted with what I would, and I know you would, describe perfectly what a shiny new toy is for us, right?
Yes. Yes.
We were gifted with the pros only Portal Combat.
So
It is a pros only boxing. Yes, I am talking about a pros only boxing as a shiny new toy.
That's right. For the first time in Marla's life.
Yes, it actually, and that's one of the really cool things about this shiny new toy, which maybe we should encourage the listeners to add 25 cents to a jar every time we say shiny new toy during this episode.
Hey, at least you're not saying flowy flow.
Oh gosh, we're just gonna have a whole list of words.
It's gonna haunt
Marla
us.
says too much. Yes, gosh. But I think the really cool thing about this pros boxing workout is different than all other pros boxing workouts, right?
It is different. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's
never been one I wanted to get in and play 5 times in a row before. So, kind of like I did this one.
Yes, Julia played 5 times the day it came out. She was like, back in, take a break, eat, back in, come to our little group chat, say something, and then we wouldn't hear from her again for like half an hour. And I'd look in the companion app, and there she was. She was diamond hunting, y'all. Diamond hunting.
I was. Well, and there was so much to take in. Every time I played, there was something new that I saw, something new I experienced. Obviously, there's a new location. Oh, that location. And I mean, we did play this together for our first play, like always. But that location, we like sat in that location for a little while before we did anything else. So.
I remember looking to the right, and there's like this rock formation, this tall rock that has like this, what I call a portal looking world. I guess it's just all the way that you interpret and perceive the new location. And I like to make stories up in my head about it. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking to the right, and I'm like, that's where I live. I live right up there. That's a castle, and I live there. Okay.
And that's Marla's castle. And every time I go in, I'm like, oh, well, there's Marla's castle. I kind of wave at you. But I thought that too. I thought all the little places in there looked like different portals. So
exactly.
I mean, you might go in your closet one day and just end up there. I don't know. I kind of hope it would work that way, but hadn't worked for me yet. So
I want to get in the portal and come to your house and hang out.
It would be amazing.
Go lots of places. But what I think is really cool, I don't know for how long. I know it's been a year. I've had Portal Hunter in my username in the companion app. I talk about portals all the time. I made us fancy profile pictures for our apps that include portals. We use portals in our logo design, in our logo, and joy balls. If you've ever noticed, there are little joy balls in there. So when I saw this come out that morning, I could not wait for Julia to wake up. I was like, get up. And we had never talked about our tradition with pros boxing. We never waited for one another for boxing, always for flow.
No.
But I knew right away I had to wait for you. And I wasn't going to play it until you were ready. So
yeah, this one is definitely special. It's just checks all the boxes. And I mean, still 2 weeks later, still thinking about this workout. Like every time I get in the headset, I'm like, yeah, I need to go visit that one. It's a tough mentally and physically workout. Really mentally, because I'm also hunting that 100%, but accuracy, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, because it's just something pops up every single time you play. Training, I have gotten better each time I play, but then sometimes I'll go right back into it and do worse than I did the time before. It's just, there's something about this one, keeps you coming back.
So something I noticed that made this pros only boxing different than past ones, I have done a few for research for a pros only episode, but I stopped playing most pros only boxing simply because they did not feel attainable to me, and they wore me out in a way that it's not because of lack of training or lack of athleticism or endurance. It was just the sheer number of flurries. It was just a lot, where I feel like this one is way different. It offers way more complexity than I've ever seen in a pros boxing. And the movement, it is so movement heavy with the bars, the slips. Wow. It's also an ab and glute workout. It's a hidden glutaceous, absolutious, pros only hybrid portal combat for serious.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Usually a pros boxing is very taxing on your arms and shoulders and upper back. And this one, there's no way I could play any of the other ones 5 times in a row. Well, there are a few that are a little bit lower in intensity. I probably could, but they're still very upper body heavy. This one, my legs and my glutes, my abs, the only place in my upper body that was sore the next day was this muscle. I don't know the names of all the muscles, but the muscle on the very back of my arm and my back. I can't really describe it, but and that was kind of new for me, a new soreness that I don't normally. But I'm thinking it's because all the slips that I was doing.
Well, I had some new soreness. This is someplace I never get sore in my pecs, and I think it was because I was staying tight and in guard. It's one of my favorite things to do, but I was really focused in for the pros only.
You have to on this one.
Yeah, and with all of the slips and the weaves, and I was tighter, and so my pecs hurt. It was, it gave me a whole new workout that I haven't experienced in other boxing workouts. This is the definition of a shiny new toy. You already talked about the new location, but they also reused a location we've only seen once before.
That's true.
The video game, like the 80s video game location from...
I love that location.
What is the name of that workout? I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was an April Fool's.
April Fool's...
from last year?
It's the one from last year with Coach Mark. Yeah.
Yeah, they had
and that one's a favorite of mine. I like that one. And... it also uses the same joy ball from that location, but I believe the joy ball is also used in Song 1, and Song 2 is April Fool's location used again, and that joy ball is used again there too. So it's cool to see those things that we haven't seen for a whole year just show up like that for us. So
for sure, it felt brand new. It was so awesome to see. And fun fact, that location was the inspiration for mine and Julia's first For the Love of the Map. I wouldn't say logo, but more like graphic for the parties we used to host on Sundays. And it just really tied right back in with the name of it is Portal Combat. It just, it feels like home. Like this workout is meant to be a shiny new toy. It was the perfect thing to wake up to, and now I want to abandon this episode and go play this workout. Oh man.
Well, if they would like to see that location and our kind of logo, I actually used it in the triangle training episode. I don't know the number of that episode right off the top of my head, but the triangle training episode actually has that location in there with us swinging our bats, I believe, and so that's if anybody wants to see it. We've always loved that location. So.
You can pop it up right here too if you're watching on YouTube.
That's very
it will
true.
be here. So it was really cool. And I know Julie and I thought the same exact thing when we got in that location. We probably were like communicating telepathically.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But
Oh,
yes,
man.
you guys go play this if you haven't. It is hard, okay?
It is really hard.
But it is attainable. I feel like it is the most attainable but challenging. It wasn't like a dumbed down pros only or like a less, like a high plus version of a pros only, because I know we have had a couple of those. This felt like a true pros only for your mind and your body. It was fantastic. Fantastic.
It was so good. So this kind of brings me to the thought of like which ones are still on our list to over and over again, which ones are kind of outdated to us, and why maybe would they be outdated? You know, bring up a conversation about that. So
Of what? Like going back and looking at past shiny new toys? Is that what you're talking about?
I think we should. Yeah.
I think that would be good. If we're going to talk about shiny new toys, we should probably talk about what makes a shiny new toy, right? So it's not only is it a stellar workout, it is having something new or innovative featured in that workout that makes you think about it nonstop, that makes you want to go back and play it, that makes you think, wow, this is the most fun I've had, right? Like, I need to get in here. That's like sort of the definition of a shiny new toy to us.
Yeah. Great music. Like it has to have that total package. It has to have
coaching,
all of it
on point.
Yeah.
And I do want to say one thing before we go to the shiny new toys.
I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say.
Mindy, the coaching, Coach Mindy, she just brings us a level of professionalism that we need during a pros only. I love the way she calls out the combos. She gets serious at certain points to get you through the hard parts. She just says all the right things. And so I believe for us, a shiny new toy is the full package. Like you said, it includes coaching, choreography, music, all of that.
Got to have the coach on.
Yes, got to have the coach on. So if we're going to do shiny new toys, because it's like my favorite new category.
I know.
We need to go back. We need to go back.
We do.
To something we don't really talk about often.
Yeah.
Which is 2020 and 2021 workouts.
Whoo, Marla.
I know, right?
You're going back there?
Well, that's when we started. You started at the end of 2020.
Yeah.
I started in 2021. Everything was sort of a shiny new toy almost, because we were discovering Supernatural, right?
Yeah.
And falling in love with
too.
it.
Yeah.
And, you know, a shiny new toy doesn't have to be a workout of the day, right?
No.
It can be one it's the first time you've played it. You just discovered it. With almost 3,000 workouts in the library, it's like you're going to find one that's not a WOD, right? But gosh, 2020, 2021, shiny new toys.
It was a whole different ball game back then.
Wow.
And it's funny that we even have any from them that time, knowing what we know now. But I mean,
yes,
that's where we started, and that's what got us in. And we've said this before, that's what we had, and that's what drew us in. It must have been good.
Yes.
Or we wouldn't be here.
100%. 100%. And
we
I'm
just didn't
start
know that we were like sticking it out for what we have now.
No.
You know what I mean, though?
We have no idea. We had no idea. And so we had to like put ourselves in the mind frame of baby athletes of 2020 to 2021 and remember those workouts, go through the list, go through and remember what drew us there. And have those feelings all over again.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, the list I'm about to go over, that is mine. Some of them overlap with Julia. But are they still shiny new toys to me today? No. But I remember
Yeah.
The feeling and how exciting they were when I played them for the first time. Some of these I've played way too many times to even share how many times I've played with them because like it's ridiculous. But I feel like we should start this one off with one I know our listeners will all know. And we're just going to go straight to the quick hit.
Yep.
Quick hits, the drop with Rainier. Y'all already know what we're about to say with the first song, Centipede. It is from August 23rd of 2020. Now everyone's played this high version of Centipede.
Yeah.
It's in other workouts, but this is the quick hit. It's the first song. This one gives you a ton of points, y'all, if you didn't already know.
Yep.
But at the time, it was hardcore. It was fun. It was challenging. It was a shiny new toy.
It was. It was the one that everyone talked about. It's the only workout that has a club that Leanne made. She's dubbed this the Centipede Club if you played it to go tell her. So there's no other workout that she's dubbed,
A
club workout. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So my second workout from 2020. I'm going with quick hit. Yes, this isn't a full workout because as we all know now, quick hits are made from full workouts. But I liked the quick hit. This is back when I first started, after I went through lows for a while and was able to move up to mediums. I loved this workout. I loved the songs. I loved the coaching. The mapping was good. I've played it way too many times. It is Quick Hits Pool House. It's with Mark, and it is from December 27th, 2020. This was a shiny new toy for me when I discovered it. I remember the first time I played it, I thought to myself, man, this is why I love Supernatural. This is why I love Supernatural. I really liked it. And I know I've had you play it before.
Oh, yeah.
I know it was you, me, and Chad. You were like, why? You both said, why are we playing this? And I was like, I don't know. Let's play it. Let's play it. Let's see. It's been a long time since I've played it. And you were both like, oh, this isn't bad. This is pretty good. Interesting.
Yeah. Yep. There's some gems that you can find from back in the day. Now, are they like what you would consider now to just think about and play? No, but it's still in, if we had a folder, it would still be in like, this is a good workout folder,
Yes, 100%. If we had folders, I would put this in a folder for its time. Like I liked this from 2020, Now my next one is from 2021. And this I discovered when I first started Supernatural and I was doing 75 hard. I had to do a 45-minute workout, right? And I was on lows.
Okay.
So I played this one a lot because back then I didn't have the experience that I do now with Supernatural in what to look for or workouts that I like because I was brand new, right? So
yeah.
I picked this one because I enjoy the music. It was with Dewana. I mean, we love all the coaches, right? I needed to have Coach Dewana in my ear back then often. This is from March 10th, 2021. And y'all won't believe this. It's a super monster, and it's called Nonstop Pop. I really liked this one. I loved it. It progressed. Like, it was super easy in the beginning. When I started to play this workout, it was not easy for me. I want to make that clear. If you play this now, this is so easy. Like, the first 3 songs, I'm like, we need to move. And it shows me how far I've come in my endurance, just in my athletic ability. And it was hard for me, you guys. Like, I remember having to pause at the 5th song, Torn by Ava Max, and like waiting a minute, drinking some water, chilling out before I could progress to the rest of the workout. Last time I played this workout, I complained because it was so slow. But I remember loving it.
I love that we have that comparison of what we thought was hard then versus we can go in and play something today and be like, this is easy,
Yeah.
But I love that you had this. Did you use this as like a benchmark? Because I had some I did that with.
I didn't. But I remember when I moved on from Lowe's and I was regularly doing medium, like only doing mediums all the time and throwing in like high quick hits. I went back to this workout and I realized how much I had progressed. And I remember that day because I believe I made a post about it in the community. I'd have to go look. If I didn't make a post about it in the community, I wrote about it in my journal because I remember thinking and introspecting that day about how far I had come and then visualizing how far I could go or how far I would be a year from that day. And really sitting there and seeing it, seeing me play pros only. This was before I could even play a pros only. So I haven't played it. It's probably been a year and a half since I've played it. Maybe we should play it and see.
Oh, wow. Could you imagine? I will tell you that this workout was a shiny new toy of the community.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, this
cool.
one was talked about a lot when it came out, and it stayed, relevant for a while in the community. I saw this workout a lot, and I'm sure I probably played it once, maybe. Marla and I have talked about this before, but our journeys were very different in the beginning. So I didn't go into Lowe's as much unless it had like the perfect music or somebody said, you need to play this. But yeah, this one was talked about for a long time.
Well, it's funny because sometimes I occasionally see it still posted in the community. And when I see it posted, I always interact with those posts. I always heart it, leave a comment.
Yep.
Because it was a fantastic workout. It was a shiny new toy for me when I found it. And I'm sure it helps a lot of other new supernatural athletes on their journey.
Yeah.
So next one. Everyone's going to know this one. Again, it's a quick hit. I picked the quick hit version. Yes, it's in a full length one. And it is Quick Hits Nonstop K-Pop. And it's with Duana from September 5th, 2021. Now, why did I pick this one? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm sure I've played this one, and I know I think I even filmed myself in Gangnam Style doing this medium. So I know I've played it, but why did you choose this?
Because Gangnam Style was so fun when I found it. It was so fun back then. And I Am the Best had great mapping, but Gangnam Style, man, like it gave me energy. It was so fun. I felt like I was dancing. And of course we have that pros only version now, years later.
Right.
Which is so way more fun. It's a whole different level of fun. But I played this medium quick hit often, like a few times a week. It was in the rotation regularly back then when I first started.
Well, this version of Gangnam Style was actually in its time considered a medium plus, it was very hard for some people to get the choreography on this one. And a lot of it was like the crossover arms. And
I think
it was hard for people. Like, how do you even do that? Yeah.
Because
once you mastered this one, you felt like, oh, I got it.
Exactly. And it allowed you to, when you did move up in intensity and started seeing more complex crossovers and combinations and highs or pros only, you had this foundation. I didn't think about it until just then. But yeah, that was definitely why I liked it. I love crossover movements. Anything that gets my arms and brains to do something different, I'm all about. But crossovers, man, I could do those all day long.
Yeah, this one was really complex for its time. Very fun to do that version of Gangnam Style.
All right. I don't have very many left, y'all, I promise. This is another one, another example of me starting or being in 75 hard. I think I was in phase 1, and you still have to do 45-minute workout. And this is a super monster with Mark. It's called Full Bodied Beast. It's 48 minutes from September 6th, 2021. I loved this workout. I did it often. It's another one. It breaks it down like every 3 songs. It focuses on a different muscle group. The choreography for its time was fantastic. It was fun. Great music. Great coaching. I know I've had I've done it with you several times. I've added it to competitions when I had to pick out workouts for competitions. I just think this is a very well-rounded super monster. And the music is awesome. So I played this one a lot, and it was a shiny new toy for me.
This one, I remember, very good workout, and a shiny new toy to the community, too. This one is still talked about today and was heavily talked about when it was released. And I've gone back and done this one with you because I forgot about it. You were like, hey, let's do this one. And it's a great, like you said, it's a great workout. Is this the one where Mark loses his shoe?
Yes, at the end. Yes, where you go into the cool down and he's like, has no shoe. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. Oh, man. This was such a good one. And it's so funny because Marla now is like, I don't want a super monster. I want lots of choices. I want to go everywhere through the library. But old Marla was like, no, just give me one workout so I don't have to pick, a bunch of different ones. It's so funny how we evolve and change in our journeys.
It is. It is. I would still go back and do this one, but kind of like you said, probably wouldn't call this one a shiny new toy, obviously still, but I would definitely go back and do it.
Well, it shows that the last time I played this one was at the end of October of last year. So I have played it.
We were probably in a party.
Exactly. I have played it somewhat recently. Guess it's relative. Now, this next one will be no surprise to anyone because I think I've talked about it like 4 times on this.
We've had this one in the podcast a lot. I've had to go grab a screenshot of this one to pop in so many times.
And I thought about just not even mentioning it since I had mentioned it a million times, but I'm going to mention it because it is so noteworthy. And it is the Fuego Pure Salsa with Leanne from September 15th, 2021. 20-minute workout breaks Julia's brain. You are legit salsa dancing. The choreographer who came up with this, Asia, she's got a whole little behind the scenes sort of video of dancing the salsa. Then it jumps to her in the headset. It's just all around a fantastic workout. This was revolutionary for its time. It was, there's no other workout like this in the library. And I wish they would do more like this, where they're teaching, you're doing the dances. I know we talk about dance flow, and there are some newerish from last year and this year maps that are dance inspired and dance movements. But this was the first workout like that. And it was definitely a shiny new toy for me. I have played it so many times.
Man, that one. Definitely did not make my list.
You're like, no. And it was a shiny new toy for the community. People, like you've said before, people either loved it or hated it. And I mean, isn't it great to have polar opposite viewpoints and we get these different things? Each of us, it's kind of like, you never know what you'll get. And I love that.
That's very true. Yeah.
So my next and last shiny new toy of that time period. I think we've mentioned this, especially our first episode. I think this was our first workout recommendation when we were recommending older workouts. And there's a whole story to this workout. This one is the Drop ElectroLatin with Leanne, 19 minutes, high intensity, from October 4th, 2021. This workout came out, and I was not yet at a high intensity level. I saw people in the community talking about it. I had so much FOMO. I went into the first song. I played 20 seconds of it and left. I was like, I'm not there. No. I allowed it to get the best of me. And I was like, I'm not ready for high. I'm not ready for high. Look, I can't do this. I'm not nearly as far as I should be in my health journey. I had all these negative thoughts about this experience. Then a week later.
Listen, you let your inner voice get to you, Marla.
I 100% did. All my intrusive thoughts, all that negativity, I did. I did allow it. And it taught me a very valuable lesson now that I look back at it to, never let that negative part of you that says you can't do things, you can't let that, win. You can't listen to it. You've got to tell it to sit down, that you're going to do it. Anyway, back to this workout. A week after I tried it for the first time and left, I saw Jessa post the first song, a side-by-side of it. And I cannot tell you how many times I watched it. Like an embarrassing amount
I
of
did
times.
too. No, I watched it too, Marla.
I loved it. First of all, the first song reminds me of Spain so much. I love that song. And I saw all these turning movements, and I saw her spinning and hitting crossovers. And I was just like, I want to be there. And so I got in there and I did it. I got in there and I did it. I did the whole thing. It was my first high. It was a shiny new toy. I could not stop thinking about this workout. No. I wanted to play it, but I was sore. And I needed to go play mediums the next day. And I was like, I want to play the high. And I went in and I played it again and I played it again until I got better at it. And I think it was like a year after my first play, I finally got a diamond on this workout. And
wow.
I was really proud. I was like, another example of going back and looking how far you've come.
Yeah, training. You trained. Is this your first training workout, Marla?
I think it is my first training workout. My first high training workout. I had a medium quick hit training workout, which I know you're going to mention the full version of my training medium workout. I did the quick hit. You're going to talk about the full. So I guess we've always sort of been training without realizing it until recently.
Yeah.
You know?
I think so.
Yeah. Cool. But that's my list. Those are my shiny new toys.
I love your list, and I love how you have all intensity levels in there. Obviously, there's no boxing because, well, a lot of times boxings aren't our shining new toys, but boxing actually came out not long after this ElectroLatin workout. But
exactly.
I didn't even look at boxing.
I didn't either, and so if we do a shiny new toy episode for 2022, we definitely need to look at boxing because I had some. 2022 and 2023 were the years of me heavily boxing. I boxed a ton. So
you did.
I'll have some then.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to hear about your shiny new toys.
Well, I think ours kind of overlap here. I also loved ElectroLatin, and it may or may not have been, like you brought up Jess's gameplay, her fault. You know, I love a good drop. But seeing her gameplay, it would come through your feed. I mean, you'd get out, you'd sit and scroll. Oh, there it is again. I need to go do this again. And she made it look so fun. So I'm sure I did not look like her.
No, we did.
I struggled through this workout too. But the last song, I'm not going to name, I don't know how to pronounce all of these. Baraka, maybe. That one is my favorite.
Yeah,
the last song is my favorite in this one. And I wish we had a quick hit with just that one. It wouldn't be the first one. They probably would make it be the last one. But I want to get to that one really quick. So
yeah.
So I'm going to go through mine in order. And I was chasing all the, I didn't have music. Like, music wasn't huge for me, and this made me realize my love for music. And I learned I love the EDM, the drops, I wanted to get in and like feel like I was working out and going hard. So that's kind of what my beginning was like for me. I didn't play a lot of lows. I played a few mediums. I just didn't think they were for me. I wanted to get in and just tear it up, I don't think like that now, but my first one is this Absolicious. It was the debut of Absolicious, and it was really hard for me in the beginning to remember workouts and what workout was what. Like, it's completely opposite of what it is for me now. I can tell you what location, and but I was like, wait, which one is that? Which card did it have? Where's that song that I loved? So it was much harder for me to categorize everything. But I went back to this Absolicious with Rainier. There's also a quick hit of this workout from 10, 19, 20. And this was my first one that I was able to get a diamond on. So that's why I played it a lot. So my reasonings for some of these are very weird. But the movements, I think we actually sat and talked about this a little bit yesterday. And I think you made me realize the movements were very simple. There's nothing very complex in here. It's just very simple, up and down, side to side. I mean, it does get your abs if you do it right. But I could go hard in this one and get a diamond. Now, we do know that getting a diamond is more about being consistent than it is about going hard and trying to hurt yourself or kill your shoulders. But this was the one for me that I was like, oh, I can do that. Like, it helped me cross that diamond threshold of getting a diamond.
You know, I think my first diamond ever was on the quick hit version of this medium, because that was my training.
Leanne.
Yeah, it was my training from low to medium was the quick hit version of this.
Okay, yeah, it's a great workout.
I think
need to
that
go
was
back
my
and
first
do it.
diamond. Yeah, we
That's
should.
cool.
I want to do this one.
I loved it, and I didn't know then that Leanne's version, the quick hit, was like
From this.
from this workout. Like, I didn't even understand that stuff then. So little baby athlete me had lots to learn. The next one is the Sweat Symphony Can with Coach Doc. I know a lot of people will know this workout too. There is a quick hit now, so you can get to the can quicker. But this is where I learned my love for working out to symphonic music. I mean, what in the world? Why would, you would think, really, this doesn't make sense, but it made me love the Sweat Symphonies. Like, they turned into some of my favorites. But the can is just insanity. It's just targets coming at you crazy fast, which you'll see is there's that happens in a lot of these on here. I'm like, ooh, this song, it makes me just swing my arms like crazy. But the can was one that the community talked about a lot. I mean,
they still do.
It would just tear your shoulders up. So
I want to see the can remade into a high or a pros only version now that we have leg lifts and knee strikes, because I think they could legit make you do the can
I think they
with
could.
those challenge.
Now that they've made us dance a jig and stuff like that, they could definitely make us do the can.
That's what I'm thinking. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that one redone.
Yes, but this one, like I said, I loved Sweat Symphony. So now every time a Sweat Symphony comes out, I'll play it in almost every intensity level. So my next one is probably my number one top favorite. I love Marla's reaction to this. She is sticking her tongue out. If you are not watching this on YouTube, doing a thumbs down. This is the first workout that made me cry in Supernatural.
Wow.
It is a monster, Murky Monsters, 25 minutes with Leanne. And I believe there probably has maybe been a song or two taken out of this one.
Yes.
I don't know which one. This workout just had everything in it that I loved. And I used it as kind of a benchmark to see how I was doing, and I would want to get better every time. And I just loved everything about this one and the way it made me feel. In for the Kill is one of my favorites, and still one of my favorites. But I've played this workout a lot. And when Leanne popped up at the end the very first time, and this was probably maybe one of the first hard at that time, this was a very hard workout, very challenging workout. And she popped up at the end, and I just burst out into tears because I did that. Like, it was very challenging, very hard. I went hard. This is when I was going crazy, hitting targets as hard as I could because I didn't understand the algorithm. And I got done with this one, and like, she told me, you can do hard things, and I just lost it. So I don't know if anyone else has cried, at the end of a workout or during a workout, but this is one of those for me. And I will go in and play this workout anytime. Like, if somebody says, you want to do Murky Monsters, which no one does, hint, hint, friends.
Listen, I boo this workout, but again, there's a few reasons why I do that. One, to annoy Julie, because I know she loves it. Two,
of course.
Because remember one of the last episodes, we talked about how I had this block about all the EDM highs that I couldn't do, Anyway, I get why you loved this then.
Yeah.
the mapping is uncomfortable for me.
It
now.
is. It is uncomfortable.
The angles. I mean, isn't front to back the one that you're like going 2 portals over in a turn? Like it has the weird portal jumps,
so.
and you have to remember. Oh, we're moving because you square up to the next portal, but no, you're going 2 over, and you're just like, whoa, what is happening to me? Anyway, yeah, and we did it for a competition once in Super Sense. I love all the music in this. I love the music. Speaker box. I would love to see in a pros, and we both love Into the Kill. In for the Kill. So we would love to see that redone.
I would love to see In for the Kill in a pros, and all of these. Like, I just go to play this for the music, and it just gives me all the feels. And this is, I think, when I started remembering locations too, and what songs went with what locations. Because a lot of these songs at that time, and these EDM drops and things, and a lot of times Leanne was the coach for them.
Yes.
So in the beginning, Leanne was one of my favorite coaches because she coached all the EDM ones that I wanted to do. But yeah, seeing all these in a pros, remade, redone, like I would love for them to take some of these older workouts, keep the card, keep the name, and be
2.0.
like version 2. Version and
2.0.
I would love that. That would be so cool for me. But
because you keep the classic, you keep the original, and you remake it. Version 2.0, Murky Monsters would be so rad. They could remake so many old ones. That would be amazing. Of course, all the highs.
And there are some moves in some of these that I love, and I would hate to see removed. So, In for the Kill has some moves in it that just make me feel like I'm flying. Excuse me. A little bit of this has a few moves that also, there's just something about it that like makes me go hard and like, I can do this. But man, I can spend way too much time on that. Okay. The next one, Marla does not like this workout. I've made her play it with me. There was a song removed. There's also a location in this workout that they do not use anymore, and it is beautiful. But this workout, and it even has a warm-up, which sometimes I see that, and I'm like, it has 4 songs, and they don't do warm-ups anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, warm-up songs in there. Misery Business is why this workout is on here. And there was an argument back in the day, is Misery Business harder than Centipede? Like, there was a whole fight about that. But anyway.
This is a shoulder buster for me personally.
It's a shoulder buster, yeah.
It's not comfortable.
And you know what was made out of this workout not long ago? A quick hit.
Yeah.
Like, how in the world did we get a quick hit? Old map and all. Yeah.
From 2021.
If you want a quick hit from something, there's always hope, right? You always tell me that. There's always hope.
I do. There's always hope. Don't give up, because sometimes people will be like, man, I really wish they would have made a quick hit out of this workout, but it's been too long. I'm like, nuh-uh, that's not true. They will go back so far and make a quick hit from something. So don't lose hope. Yeah,
That's right.
That was hardcore.
So.
Lots of people still talk about Misery Business. And because it's in a new quick hit, it's getting more attention. You either love it or you hate it. It's definitely old school choreography for me.
It really is. But I loved it then. Like, I wanted to get in there and just be hit with a million targets.
Yeah,
it was just
definitely
like, this is hard and I can do it. And I think that's what a lot of these did for me. Like, I can do hard things. Like, it made me realize I could do hard things. So, and which is like this quick hits pros only. That is my next one. I've done this one a lot with Dwana. It's a 8-minute from 1:31:21 quick hits pros only, and it's my songs Know What You Did in the Dark and Out of the Black, which now we have Out of the Black in a pros only and another pros only, a Madhouse, and I have a side by side of a pros only versus a pros only, which it's hard to call this a pros only anymore. I would actually call this a high now. High. So I played this a lot for kind of like see where I was with power and things like that. So it was also a great way for me to get in and quickly just do a pros only. I also have the First Fuego on here. Made me realize my love for Fuego and just the way that dance and style made you feel. And this is a medium intensity. It also, well, let me finish with Rainier from 32221. I played this one a lot. Loved it. I'm sure it was probably a shiny toy in the community as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of these Fuegos like have the fire and stuff on the cards. And that brings me to the next one, the Quick Hits Just Dance.
Oh, yeah.
To me, I feel like this is a Fuego. Like, I feel like it, and it probably was it derived from, no, this was derived from a Just Dance workout. But it makes me think it's a Fuego. So because of Ooh La La, I can skip the first song. Look, I'm getting excited and I'm getting ahead of myself. This is a Coach Stock medium intensity from 5 to 21. And I've played this one when we got those reviews at the end of the year, like last year or the year before. I don't even know if they do those still. This was my top played workout, which I know, Marley, you probably have plays on some of your favorites, like a really high numbers.
Yeah.
My high number would be like 24. That's my high number, which I have some that have higher numbers than that.
Yeah.
But this was one, if I needed to warm up, or it's just, I just need one last one, I would go play this one. And Ooh La La, there is something about that one, and I still go back and play it.
Yeah, you do.
It just makes me dance. It makes me feel good. I love Ooh La La. It was one of...
I'm looking at it, and it shows you just played it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it wasn't long ago.
It was the end of May that you played it. So, I mean, you still enjoy it.
I do love this workout. And it was one of the first times we got like a spoiler. They showed Benny like mapping this workout. So that was another reason why I liked it a lot, because I was like, I could go there where he was, and I watched him do it, and I can do it too. So we've talked about Club Frost before.
I
it
love
is a
the
monster.
music.
Yeah, Club Frost is awesome. With Leanne, high intensity from 11 to 21. I believe there's probably been a song or two taken out of this one as well, but this was a shiny new toy of the community when this came out, and a lot of people were like comparing scores and talking about how hard it was. And I think I looked back, my score the first time I played this one was a 71 power score. Like, this was hard for its time. Like,
yes,
it felt like a pros only probably today to us. And I think that is cool to talk about, because we've trained and grown so much with what we can do now versus what we thought was hard then. But I love to go back to this workout. But the newer high intensity monster that they just put out has a lot of these songs in it.
Yes.
So kind of like replace in a way these. But I love this workout. I went back to measure my, how I was doing to this workout a whole lot. And then my last one, the Super Monster Pros Party, another shiny new toy for me and for the community. Talked about a whole lot. High intensity with Rainier. He makes this workout really fun. I don't think there's been any songs taken out of this workout, which is really cool.
That's rare for an older workout,
It is. And this one's from 11/29/21. And I used this one as a measure too of kind of how I was doing, how I was training. I would just jump into this one a lot of times on Saturday. Like, it would just be my Saturday.
Yep.
I'm going into the pros only party, and this is a hard workout. And one of the hardest songs was Going Down for Real, which is near the end. So you had to make it to it. And I always knew, if I make it to Going Down for Real, I've made it to the end. So
and that version of Going Down for Real is only in this workout. So you have to make it to the end to get to that fun map. Oh my gosh, it's so fun. I wish it was in a quick hit. I wish they used it somewhere else.
Yeah. Because they don't make quick hits out of monsters. So unless they put this somewhere else with with a different, well, it probably would have a different map by now. I don't know, but the map was really good. So I think I do have a side by side of that one, but I don't think I've ever shared it. This workout, it's difficult, and I would say still today. I mean, it's a high intensity 48-minute workout. It's a lot to get through. So
yeah.
And I really agree with Marla. This was really fun to go back, reminisce, look back through, scroll through on the app, all these workouts. I really think that for me, it made me go back and think about where I was in my journey and what I thought about them, and what I think about them now as shiny new toys. No, none of them really. I enjoy some of them still, but it's not anything. The one, maybe Murky Monsters could come the closest for me.
Yeah.
But today I wouldn't.
You wouldn't
say
consider
that for
that.
them.
Well,
No.
when I was going back and finding workouts to talk about that were shiny new toys for me, something that I've done that I'm so glad I've done is I've left notes for myself in the companion app on a lot of workouts, especially
so good at that.
especially when I first started, so that when I would click on the workout, I could see my past plays and the notes. So those helped me, because then it would jog a memory for me. Oh man, I remember when I found that workout the first time, and then I would just look at the dates of how often I would play it. Man, we have so many shiny new toys for 2023 and 2024. I'm excited. I think we should do shiny new toy episodes until we get current. Not back to back. We'll have some episodes in between, but as a series within the podcast, because I think it's fun, and I want to hear from the community. I want to hear what their memories are of their version of a shiny new toy when they first started from 2020, 21. Let's go back. Let's stay there. And we'll go through the years. I think maybe one episode will be dedicated for each year moving forward. We just felt like 2021 could just be in one episode.
Well, I only had one for 2020.
Yeah.
So, or maybe it was two. But what I also think is cool about us doing these episodes is if there's somebody new that's starting and looking at this 3,000 workout library, it's like looking at all of it and saying, where do I start? How do I go decide and filter through all these to see what's good? And so maybe they can try some of the ones that we've recommended, and they won't have to go through all of them. Because I remember even when I started in December of 2020, I was very overwhelmed with what I could go back and find. And that there was only, I don't know how many workouts there were, but not even quite a whole year's worth of workouts then. Yeah. And there wasn't even boxing, but I still felt overwhelmed. I enjoyed going back and playing older workouts and being like, oh, what's this one? And what's this one? And I quickly found kind of what I liked. Yeah. But it would be much harder to do that today, I think. And not only do they have to decide on what they like for music and such, but there's such a big, huge difference now in the choreography. Yeah. So.
For sure. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be really cool, instead of making a weekly workout suggestion, to just have people go into the community on our podcast group on Facebook and tell us what is something that was a shiny new toy for you in that time of 2020 and 2021. And if you weren't playing then and you don't have one, is there one that you found in that time frame that you would love to share with us? Because we want to know. We love talking about workouts. Yeah, we do. And I'll try any workout once. So if you say it's great and I haven't tried it, I'll definitely go and check it out.
Unless it's country, and then I require a lot of convincing to try it.
Yeah, that's right. And Marla will rate it.
Yeah, well, actually, no. Sometimes I will rate them. I liked it, but I will only select the movements and the coaching. Movements and coaching. If I liked the movements and the coaching.
That's right.
But I never select music, so y'all can't get me on your side. You can't bribe me.
You're never going to win.
No, can't. There's no way to get me to like that. And I'm glad you mentioned rating, because even these old workouts. If you guys go back and do old workouts, rate them. New workouts, all the workouts. Make sure you're looking to the left after you hit the little home screen, but you're still, on your workout card. And it'll give you the option to rate them. They want to hear from us. Coach Doc even said they want to hear from us. Justin has said they want to hear from us. It's important. If you've got feedback to give them feedback.
Yes. So, guys, we appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to hang out with us. And
don't forget that the real joy and love of Supernatural is found in the journey you go on. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on today's episode of For the Love of the Map. As always, you can join the discussion on our Facebook and Instagram profiles. The links can be found in the description box below. If you find value in our content, we'd appreciate if you'd share this show with your friends. See you guys next week.